Floyd's Mayhem Garage here. Well, I've been cleaning, and I haven't gotten real far. Moved a few things, but got some floor space going here. Oh, what? I can actually walk through here. Getting some parts organized for the race car here. I haven't been working on this much because I have been getting after the Ford here. Let's see, look over the pile of stuff sitting on here. And we are actually looking pretty darn good. We're almost there. Waiting on just a couple things here. Painted some stuff. Little things here and there. We're darn close. But doing some cleaning today, and I'm getting really bored of cleaning. So, but amongst cleaning, I found some stuff. So, let's take a look at it, and I'll show you what my plans are here, or what I'm thinking. Well, this is my chicken scratch. So, one of the things I found, I bought some stuff for my Daytona, and I ended up actually getting more of this from a guy, actual proper cut sizes. So I have some extra kind of grill material here, and kind of keeping up with the whole kind of roadkill theme with this. You know, that's my kind of inspiration as most everything I do here for this race car out here. In the words of Freiburger, you know, a 68 grill in mint conditions, like $2,500. I'm going to try to recreate one of these. So, since I have a template right here, I've got my basic measurements laid out here. I'm gonna have to get creative with this piece of metal because it's 24 by 24, and my center section is 32 1/4. And so that's without the headlight doors. And so my idea here is I can get this 32 inches, which I might have to get creative, and realistically 32 1/4 is what my actual grill measures. That's probably just going to end up a 32 inch measurement. And then we're 67 overall, we're 8.5 high. And then I'll get some depth measurements. But where Roadkill did one in, you know, a couple minutes with a piece of sheet metal, I think I want to put a little bit more, I guess, effort into this. Let my kind of artistic side out. And I think I'm going to start with some round rod. I'm going to bend basically the frame and weld it together. So the idea here is, I know this is kind of in the shadow here. I don't know how well this picks up on the camera here. But we got kind of a point here. It angles that way and it angles that way. And then the ends here flare out. So I do want to try to match that. And of course, these fenders on Mayhem here are trashed. But this one's a little better, but then it's still bad and tight. But so I'm just going to go off of the grill measurements, and pretty much however the fenders line up on that, it'll probably end up looking like this. But I'm going to base them basically entirely off of these grill measurements. But once I get that kind of main frame laid out, I can lengthen this back, and then I'll also get the center grill assembly laid out. So as well, I think I need another measurement here because it looks like this is going to be wider than the inside edge here. So I need to get an inside measurement because I'm probably going to have to build this back side plus this front side. And then I can sheet metal them together, and that'll actually give me a sheet metal edge, if you will, or lip like this, that I can actually set the grill in, and then I can mount the grill in there. And I think that should look pretty good. So I think that's the plan. At least get started on this. That's something I've been wanting to do for this. Kind of while I'm in between projects here. So I think I've got enough metal. I've got to double check myself now that I want to. So I just thought of that second inner piece. Well, let me do some math here. Figure something out. We'll get started on it at least. Okay, got some more measurements here. And this is the plastic grill, so I'm going to have to change some of these measurements. So you have the grill itself, the 67, the 8.5, 32 1/4 center. Just the basically inside edge of this whole grill, because it's got the chrome around the outside. The inside is 63 and 7.5 tall. And so that measurement, because if you notice, the chrome here has a thickness to it, and so does this, and then it's got a thickness to it here. It's kind of wider at this angle, but you look at it kind of straight on, it's got that same thickness. But the inside edge here tapers in kind of towards the center of the car, so is that one. And these are kind of flat, but with the thickness here, and then there's kind of a gap in the grill here. If I do that full 7.5, because of the, or that full inch difference that there is, from 8.5 on the outside to 7.5, using the round stock that I've got, it'll basically taper to the inside, and I don't want that, so I'm gonna have to smudge some of these numbers. So I can either make the whole grill a little bit smaller, or probably, because I want to basically have it fit inside the car, so I'm probably gonna have to make the whole grill opening a little bit bigger. That way, the both top and bottom kind of sheet metal sections will be flat and kind of parallel to each other. So yeah, that is one thing I'm gonna have to kind of play with, and that might just, between those two measurements, that just might be a little bit more of an eyeball guess, but I was going to use the smaller stuff. I got, what is this, like 3/16 or something, and 1/4 and 3/8. Yeah, and I was going to do the 3/16 and 1/4, trying to keep this light, because the 3/8 stuff is a little bit heavier. But because of the size of the trim going around the outside of this whole thing, I figured I can kind of use this round and weld to that. And that'll end up giving me sort of that trim look, and then I'll use the 1/4 inch stuff on the inside, and that's what the grill and the rest of it will end up mounting to. So I think that's the plan, and I think that should work. Okay, getting both of these bent up here. I ended up making both of these too tight of a curve, so I need to basically straighten them back out and put a little bit more of a curve in them, and I think a whole curve, slight curve in this whole thing, but I need to flatten these corners out, and my height is good, so I almost need to just flatten it out and put a little bit more of a bend here and a little bit more of a bend here. So I think I can still do that all in the vise. But yeah, trial and error. This is what I'm looking at so far. not too bad. My measurements were a little off. Trying to get an overall measurement with the curve, I ended up adding too much. I was about an inch off. So took a section off in the middle there, where those little guys are. But me, I guess this is me. This thing's looking pretty good. So, and of course, kind of hold it up to the car here, kind of give you an idea of what it looks like here. And we're looking not too shabby. So my angles, let me see if I can hold this. Ooh, maybe not. Not one-handed. There you go, maybe. My angles with the bumper are pretty good. So yeah, that's not too shabby. I think this is gonna look pretty darn good. Here's what I have. We're looking pretty darn cool. I mean, that kind of looks like a 68 Charger grill. And at this point, I'm looking at it too. It'd be really easy to add a center section in here. Make a 69 out of this too. But yeah, we're looking real good. So basically, headlight opening. From there, I added a centerpiece, and to here, that's going to be grille. So really, I'd like to do that in one piece, but because of the metal I have, I'm going to have to do that in two. But not a big deal. But yeah, this thing is looking pretty sharp. Like, I think that looks like a grill. You know, just don't mind my crappy welds, but besides that, that's what a grinder's for. So, yeah, I think I need to cut some grill pieces and place them in here. And it's going to be fun sheet metaling all this, especially these end pieces, because this is going to be, that's going to be some engineering to get those looking good. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm really liking how this is looking. Well, it's getting late, so it's about time to wrap this up. So, this is how far I got, though. It is looking pretty good. So, since I have the two pieces, I welded up in the center. Everything else is still just tacked. But you can kind of see the headlight door kind of area. The kind of end wing, if you will. And pull this out here. This looks... See if this... Yeah, on camera, kind of this angle gives you a little bit better idea of what this looks like. Yeah, this thing's looking really cool. So my original idea with this, which I think I'll still do, although it'd be fun to see if maybe I could do it, my original idea was just to leave this open, make it look like the headlights are just open all the time. Don't do any doors, but I mean at this point I'm kind of not too far from being able to make, you know, headlights that open and close. That's kind of excessive for what I'm doing here, but I mean this whole thing's kind of excessive anyways. But that, I might end up playing with that in the future. As of now, I'm probably not going to do that. I'm just going to leave it just open headlight area. But from here, I do need to do some more welds on this. I'm not going to weld it complete. I am just going to leave it pretty much tacked together. And then next really is to fill all this in. This is going to be real basic. It's, I think, 2.5 inches, and so maybe 2 1/4 for a piece of metal to kind of butt up here and butt up here, and then I'll probably weld it on the back side here, but then maybe on the front side here and grind it smooth. So it has kind of a rolled edge look, but these end pieces are going to be fun because basically I'll end the metal pretty much where this bar is. So, but if I end up coming out to here, that'll kind of extend this piece out. So maybe I can stop it here, build a little piece here, but then I'll have to build an end piece and either try to do it in one piece that wraps around, or do a smaller piece here and try to curve it around and then curve it around. Something. I'll have to, these little end pieces are gonna be kind of tricky, but it'll be kind of neat building it too. So I might end up just starting with paper and doing, you know, just trying to get a pattern, because it'd be really cool if I get, you know, a pattern to basically each one of these markers, make that kind of my dividing point from here and there over. If I can get that all on paper and then lay it out and cut it out of a piece of metal and then fold it over and just have one piece that's I can then weld on, that might be pretty cool. So that might be how I do those. Yeah, otherwise this same thing, top side, it's going to be just a piece of metal, you know, flat 2.5 inch, 2 1/4, whatever it ends up being. Probably 2 1/4 is going to be a little bit closer. Yeah, just that welded across and then paint it up. Got to kind of figure out how I want to paint it, because this isn't going to have any trim per se. You know, our regular grill has the chrome trim, or the aluminum or stainless steel, whatever it is, you know, the trim all the way around. This doesn't. This is basically my trim. So I'll have to figure out kind of how to paint this. I'm thinking make it a little bit more visible, I guess, but do this instead of like a darker kind of argent silver, kind of how these were originally. Maybe do a little bit brighter silver and just paint the whole thing silver, and then either black this out or do kind of a darker gray, because if you do darker gray, the grill will show up a little bit better. So that might be an option there, or do maybe the whole thing just a darker gray and kind of see how that looks, because this whole car is really not going to have any chrome on it anyway, so this not having chrome actually may not look too bad. So the whole thing, that'd be way easy to paint too. Do the whole thing in like a dark gray, might actually look pretty cool. Do it kind of the original color that like these grills are, you know, this color, because I really do like that kind of darker, more charcoal gray. So if I do this whole grill in that color, it might look pretty good. But I'll have to keep playing with it. Made some pretty good progress tonight. So I guess that'll probably wrap up this video. I think that's plenty for this. And I guess what, how to build a 68 Charger grill. Roadkill style, better than Roadkill. I'm calling this better than Roadkill. Yeah. They just had a piece of metal. I'm actually I'm making what I believe, hopefully I can follow through on this, but I'm making a pretty legit looking grill here. So yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Take it easy, y'all.